Drumman Joe RC, and we are going to get back right here with the first part of the build for the B-25J Mitchell from Flightline. Okay, so what I did was I already started to build it, and I put on the first rudder onto the elevator. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay, what you want to do is get yourself a 2mm hex screw. Next is you take your rudder and you feed it down into that hole. Okay, because I already did this to sit there and test it out. And the reason why I do that, because I want to make sure everything works right. Then it feeds down here, okay, into this area right there, and pull it up, okay, plop it into the holes right there, push it down, make sure these are out, okay, good, right. Now, very carefully, because I'm going to just back that out a second. These are plastic fittings, and we're going to put metal in there. You only get 1 or 2 times sit there and screw them in there, okay? If you don't do that the right way the first or second time, then they're going to be stripped out. So what you want to do is when you tighten down the screws and everything, just tighten them down slightly so they're snug. Okay, so what we do is we take that and we pop that in there like that. Pull our plugs up, make sure everything is nice, okay, and there, and screw in our 2 screws right there. So I'm gonna put that in there. Take our 2mm and I'm gonna screw it in there. Just tighten it down. Tighten it to the point where it feels nice and snug, okay? And they go in nice. They lined them up, they did a good job, and it looks good. All right, that's all you want to do. You do not want to over tighten. That is the assembly of our rear elevator and rudders, okay? Looks great. What we're going to do is get our rear part of our fuselage that is going to go into this part right here. But first, we have to sit there and assemble our elevator and rudder into it. So what we want to do is we take our plugs that we fed through, and they are going to go into the fuselage, the rear part of the fuselage, and go down into this slot right there, okay? And we're going to take this, and what I'm going to do is I see them down inside there, okay? I'm going to get my forceps. That's the one, right? And the other one's down inside there. Just pulling it out. Okay. Now, we have them there, okay? So we're going to just pull it down, and then we're going to seat on the rear part of the fuselage, the elevator, and the rudders, okay? And seat that down in there. Looks nice. It's seated. Looks great, okay? And we're going to take out our 2mm again, and we're going to drop a 2mm screw down there. And you don't want to over tighten it, okay? Once again, we're talking about plastic on metal. So we're just going to pull it down right there, nice and snug, okay? Next, we're going to put in the second one, and that is, they are going in this area right here, okay? Just going to tighten that down. Okay, so there is a hole down in there, and there's a screw, so I'm just going to put my 2mm there, and I'm going to tighten it, and it is grabbing, okay? So I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was an actual hole there, and you just want to get it in there to the point where it's holding in. Okay, so that is our assembly of our rear part of our fuselage, elevator, and the rudders. Okay, next we'll attach it to the main fuselage. For the final assembly, we have the two plugs that came out of the back. They get plugged into this area right here, and you have yellow on yellow and brown on brown. So we're going to plug those in, and then we'll put it on to the back of the fuselage, and that'll be very easy. Okay, and then we're going to take this plug right here, and you see this one right here, and we are going to put it into that slot right there, as you see. Okay, so what I want you to see is that, see how that plug right there, this plug that came out of that area right there, that has to go yellow this way, yellow that way, and then you push it in. Okay, it was a little tedious and everything whatsoever, but I got it in. Okay, so then we collapse the two pieces together, and we're all good. All right, so they just go together and they snap like that. There you go, there's your snap. All right, they're together. We have a hole right there, and then we have a hole on the bottom, and we take our two last screws right here, put one in the top, and that is going to be that, and then we go into the bottom, and just make sure you get it nice and fit, don't over tighten. There you go. That is the assembly of the rear of the plane, and we will go on from there. Okay, the next step basically is we start putting on the wing. Now, I already did the first part. I put this on the right side facing wing, just to see how it goes in, so it makes it easier for me to show you how we do that. Okay, so what you do is you fit in your spars into the wing holes themselves, the front for the bigger one, the rear for the second one. You have your two plugs right here, and they're going to go into the wing, and this one here is the landing gear door, all right, for this side. On here we have our battery plug and our throttle, and this is for our landing gear door, all right. And what happens here is that we take the landing gear door and we put it into the landing gear plug. White is going to go on yellow, and black is going to go on brown, and we feed them down. The first set of plugs right here are going to get fed down into this hole right there, and the other one is going to go into the back hole right there. Let's see, we'll get that in there. I'm going to plug that in. All right, get that down in there, snaps in. Then we take our this is the landing gear door. We're going to put it into the landing gear plug, and like I said, keep your control surfaces colors lined up the right way, and white is on yellow and black is on brown, and they're going to get fed back into this slot. Then you take these other wires, one is for the throttle and one is for your battery. They go up inside this area right there. We will put in our spars into the appropriate holes, and we just feed them down. Make sure nothing gets pinched or anything. Pull them through. So that all goes in there. That looks nice. Okay, so that is in. What happens next? What we do is we have these screws right here, and one goes into here and one goes over here. Now once you place those screws in, they're going to sink in, and that's going to be where they stay. So this one goes in here. I'm going to get my this is a 2.5 millimeter fitting, and screw that down. They're going to sink into the wing, all right, and then we'll do the same for the back. Okay, once it finds its home, it'll go in, sinks down, and just tighten it up. Okay, and we're going to put the other one over here. I'm screwing the back one in, and it kind of just flops down a little bit and sinks into that area there. Okay, so now we have the wings on both sides. Okay, what you want to do is you're going to get a pigtail, and this is for your throttle. And what you do is you take one of the plugs, and of course white on yellow, black on brown, and then you're going to plug them in to the pigtail for the throttle wires that came out from the wing, and you put them in there like that. This one also. Then this wire for the throttle will go into your receiver. What you have here is you have your plugs that are going to be for your battery, and you get another pigtail, and they get plugged in appropriately. Red on red, black on black. All right, each side. Now that will plug into your battery. And that is the assembly of the inner part of the wing. We'll get the extensions of the wing on. That is where we talk about the quick release, semi-quick release. We're going to put on the final part of the wing and of the B-25. What I want to tell you is that I put the other part on, but it was a little bit of a struggle. And what you need to do, because these are quick connects, you need to sand these down a little bit, okay? These ends, because they have some barbs on them, and they don't tell you that in the manual. So what I'm going to recommend you do, and they don't tell you that, sand these down, get all the barbs off, sand them down nice, okay? So it'll go in a lot easier, all right? You have your plug here coming from your inner wing, and that goes into this part right there, okay? You just plug that in, put your spar into that hole right there, okay? And you push this down a bit. And I'll make sure that you don't crimp this wire, push it into the hole socket right there, and then line these things up a bit, and then you're going to give it a little push like that, okay? That's it. All right, that is both wings on, that side and that side, okay? And next is radio transmitter set up a little bit, and drop the gear, plug the battery in, and go from there.